次列车终点站金运路，下一站自然博物馆，开普天门。地铁内电竞旗号、爱意、高手暂发小广告词内，为确保您的信息安全，请不要向陌生人透露个人信息。本次是出站的乘客请手持车票，依次通过闸机验票后出站。到金城智能总公司、中研集团。
可以。
几个？
对，
一个。
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 好。
1.7。
好。
14.3。
好，
下次公就行。
这个现在收纳袋还有吗？没有。
After like the third time of walking by this, I signed up for the trip. So I'm going back to Zhongjia, the most beautiful place I've ever been to in the entire world. I can't wait. MJ, insert a clip of Zhongjia. Today's oatmeal featuring dragon fruit, mango, dragon fruits, kiwi, strawberry, and honeydew. So you guys want to learn Chinese. Okay, so my first tip would be forget everything you know about English. Forget everything. Everything is different, which I think is, I didn't realize how easy Spanish is for English speakers, because it's so easy to learn if you know English. Chinese, and everything is different. So forget an alphabet, forget the alphabet, forget about the system of an alphabet. There is no alphabet in Chinese. It's characters. So forget about an alphabet, forget about letters, forget about sentence structure, forget about past tense, present tense, future tense. Forget about all of that, because the grammar is 100% the opposite, 100% different in Chinese. So yeah, even people still that know a little bit of Chinese that have lived here, like some of my friends will ask me, like, how do you say, some of my friends here will ask me, like, what's the past tense of this Chinese word? I'm like, there's no past tense, there's no future tense, that stuff does not exist. So you have to, it's really hard for people to let that go as well. Really hard. Because everything you know about how to talk is totally different. talking here is done differently. Okay, so just think about. What was I saying? Yes, the second thing I want to touch on is measure words. So in Chinese, measure words is a big part of Mandarin, um, and we don't have this in English. A measure word is how to describe something. For example, in English, if you're gonna say one pillow, one phone, one cup, that's how you call things, you know? You just say the number and then you say the object. In Chinese, there's measure words, and there's different measure words for each object. So say I want to say one cookie. A measure word for cookie is kwai. So say I want, okay, 3 cookies. So say you want to say I want 3 cookies. You'd say 我, which is I, 要, which is want, 三块饼干, which is 3 cookies. 三块, you say the number, the measure word, and then the object. So 三块饼干. And there's different measure words with all objects. For example, cup. The measure word for cup is bei. So if you want to say 1 cup of coffee, it's 一杯咖啡, because 一 is 1. You have to stick that measure word in between the number and the object. So yeah, cup is 一杯咖啡, because coffee is 咖啡. So 一 is 1. 一杯咖啡. G is also a very popular measure word used for people, most places, and a lot of things. So if you want to say one person, 一个人, ren is person. So 一 is 1, 个 is the measure word for person, and ren is, person. So 一个人. These measure words. Oh my gosh. There's so many of them, and it's some of them are just miscellaneous, and the only way to remember is just to remember. The only way. That's the only way. So another popular measure word is zheng. Zheng looks like, I'm gonna write it. Zheng is the measure word for long things that are flat. So, a table, zheng. It's because it's long and flat. A piece of paper, zheng. Because it's long and flat. What else? Long and flat things. The measure word for a chair is ba. So, 一把椅子. 椅子 is chair. So if you want to say one chair, you have to say 一把椅子, because 把 is the measure word for chair. What else? Like a type of person, so like a doctor, a teacher, like those, the way you address people, you know, like types of people. The measure word is wei. So if you want to say one teacher, 一位老师. 老师 is teacher. 一位老师. That's how you say measure word for pairs. So if something is a pair, it's shuang. So one pairs of socks would be 一双袜子. So yeah, these measure words, there's so many, and you just have to memorize them. And there's a measure word for everything. Everything. So I think that makes Chinese a little bit hard, because the concept of measure words is not in English. We don't have those measure words. We just say the number and then something. One pillow, one cup, one bowl, one plate. We don't put in a word between the number and an object, where they do. And there's a different one for every object. So every type of object, but sometimes it's miscellaneous, so you just have to remember it. The measure word for pants is 条. The measure word for pants is 条. Also, a dress, like a foreign type dress, not a Chinese traditional dress, but like it's also tiao for that dress. But if it's Chinese traditional dress, it's not tiao. Jian is the measure word for shirt. So if you want to say one, my next thing would be Chinese sounds are different from English sounds, so you have to relearn. The first step, probably, to learning Chinese is to relearn how to read. Because they call it pinyin here. How to read letters. So the letters you see aren't going to sound the same. Like, everybody says Shanghai because it's spelled Shanghai, but it's not Sheng. The ang makes an sound, so it's Shanghai. You can tell people who have been to Shanghai because they say Shanghai, or people who have lived in Shanghai, and you can tell people who don't know much about Shanghai or much about Chinese, they say Shanghai. It's not Shang. Shang is not that's not how you would pronounce ang. Shang makes the sound, so Shanghai. Just like American people, or not just American people, but other people, if you see Yang, you'd say yang. It's not yang, it's young. But that's because the letters here have different sounds than letters in English. So you have to relearn how to read things, which is very hard. I think that's the hardest part. I don't think characters are that hard. I think the hardest part is the pinyin. It's called pinyin. They just created pinyin too, which is like the written form of Chinese, because it was too hard for foreigners to learn Chinese just from characters. So they created pinyin, and you have to. Oh, I almost left out the biggest part of Chinese. Very, very important. Tone. Everything is based on how you say it. There are 4.5 different tones in Chinese. There's tone 1, which is flat ah. So ma, that's how you say mom. That's how you say mother, mama. Well, the second ma could be, but ma would be mother. So that's the first tone. Ma, straight and flat. The second tone goes up. So it's ma. The fourth tone, I'm just using ma to show you guys the examples. The third tone is down and back up, so ma. And the fourth tone is short and down, so ma. So the 4 tones are flat, ma, 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 ma. All 4 of those things I just said are 4 completely different things. So everything depends on tones, everything. So if you, for example, bao, B-A-O, bao, if you say bao with the first tone, long and flat, bao, and that means bag. But if you say bao, the 4th tone, straight down, that means newspaper. So everything's dependent on how you say it. Mai means to buy something. Mai means to sell something. And sometimes they're not even that closely related, like ma and ma, mother and horse. I can teach you guys some basic words. So wo, so third tone, wo, is W-O, wo. That's me, my, I, myself. That's how you say me. Ni, third tone, ni, is you. So ni hao, that literally means you good. Ni is you, and hao is good. Did I say good? Ni is you, hao is good. So ni hao means you good, but it's the greeting here, so it's how you technically would say hello in English, but it's not hello. I heard somebody like I get a lot of questions in my comments, and I get a lot of people answering questions for me. And they're not usually correct. Like, a lot of people go through my comments and try to answer people for me, and which I know they don't have any bad intentions, but they're not always right. Ni hao means you good. Ni, you. Hao means good. So ta means him or her. It's funny because I often hear a lot of Chinese people call girls him and men him, or guys her and girls her, because they might often forget that a man and a woman, you would refer to them as two different things in English. So if you see a guy, him. You see a girl, her. In Chinese, they're both ta. So if it's a girl, ta. A guy, ta. 她是很漂亮. She is very pretty. Or you could say 他是很帅. He is very handsome. 他 means guy and girl in Chinese. Mother is mama. Father is baba. Grandmother, older sister is Jia Jia. Younger sister is Mei Mei. Older brother is Ge Ge. Little brother is Di Di. So everything has, when it comes to siblings, they're different. Sister in English could be older or younger sister, where in Chinese, Jia Jia is older sister. Mei Mei is, I always confuse that as well. I used to always call Christina my little sister. She's my older sister. She's my Jia Jia. I used to always say 我的妹妹, where I'm her younger sister. I'm her Mei Mei. She's Jia Jia to me. They're two different things. What else? America is 美国, which means beautiful. Well, the translation from the characters 美 is beautiful. 国 means country. So 中国 is China, which means middle or central country. Urban is Japan, which means where the sun rises. 法国 is France. 俄罗斯 is Russia. What else? Mochiga is Mexico. I'm trying to think of where my subscribers are from. Where I see you guys comment. I can also see where you're from in my analytics. And yeah, Canada is Canada. 非洲 is Africa. 韩国 is Korea. Kyrgyzstan is Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan. That's how you say it. Kyrgyzstan is Kyrgyzstan. What else? Yeah, do I think Chinese is hard? It all depends on your mindset. All of it. I think it really does depend on your mindset and where you're from. For most foreigners here don't know Chinese. So people are very surprised when me and my sister know Chinese. Very surprised when we start speaking it. Which is why a lot of Chinese people speak in front of us, because they just are 100% sure we don't understand. But we usually do. And it's never that rude. It's always very nice, which is why people are like, you don't know what they're saying? I'm like, I do know what they're saying. And Chinese people don't have the slightest clue you understand. They really don't think. People are like, they freak out every time me and my sister speak Chinese. Unless we have gotten to know those people when they know we speak it now. But very surprised, because most foreigners here don't know. I know a girl from church. She's lived here for 11 years. She's from the Netherlands. And 3 of her kids live here. And they're all under 11. So they've spent their whole lives here in China. They still don't know it. They still don't know it. Most foreigners here don't know, because it's hard. And honestly, it depends on your mindset, I think, to judge whether it's hard. I never really know how to answer people when they say is Chinese hard, because I think it's easy, because my mindset is a little bit different, because my sister helped me have this mindset. But a lot of people's mindset is like, it's so hard, it's so hard, it's so hard. it's going to be hard for you to learn. But if you just, and also, I really think you need to be in China. I do. I really think you need to be in China to really be fluent. Come to China. Live here for years. For a significant amount of time to learn it fluent. It's just, I can't see, because it's just so difficult. You have to hear it. All I hear is Chinese 80% of the time. I just hear it, whether it's me being on the metro, me watching TV, me, everything's in Chinese. The person I'm talking to here, background noise, the people in front of me, the people behind me, all I hear is Chinese. That is what allowed me to be able to learn it quickly. And also my sister helped me. But I think it's hard if you're not in this situation. So, because characters and measure words and the way they set up their sentences is just completely different. And the used grammar is completely different than English. And I think that being here, it is easy, I think. It can be easy for you. If you know how to finesse it. But if you're not in China, I think it's almost close to impossible to become fluent unless you're just a genius and you work extremely hard. Or if you have somebody Chinese to talk to, then that's amazing. That's also forcing yourself to speak Chinese where you have to speak it. That is the best thing for you. Like, I travel alone, like I've said before, and the best thing for me was traveling to these places all around China, and I have to figure out how to speak it if I want to. I was in Zhangjiajie one time, and I was in Zhangjiajie National Forest Park, and nobody spoke English, not one person. But I wanted to do so many things when I was in that park. I knew they had cable cars. I know they had the Avatar Mountains all the way on the top of the peak. There's like these Avatar Mountains. They had like these Avatar figurines in the mountains. They had a waterfall there. They had the Golden Whip Stream that had monkeys. But this national park was huge. So for me to be, I was trying to make videos. I was trying to take pictures. I didn't have all day, and this national park is huge. So the only way for me to get to these things that I wanted to do is to force myself to talk to people. Like, and I had to go to so many Chinese people. Like, could you help me get here? Where do I get here? How do I get here? How much is this cost? How much is this cost? That I learned. I got my lefts, my rights down packed. I got how to tell people directions and how to ask for directions down packed. I got over the fear of not knowing if my Chinese is good enough, like, so I'm scared to talk. And I think that's the only way also to get your tones, because at first you just got to keep remembering the tones, of what you're trying to say. Ni hao, like, you have to remember each word. What's the tone for that? What I'm trying to say. And it starts coming naturally after you speak it so many times. You know how to say it. You know how to, you know what tone goes with what you're trying to say. Like, my 东西 means I want to buy something. My 东西 means I want to sell something. Like, but you're not going to think about that when you're saying it after you have said it so many times and you're using it. You're just going to know that my means buy. My means sell. Like, you're just gonna know that, you know what I'm saying? But think about how many words there are. You gotta remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so, which is why I think it can be hard, because if you don't have anybody Chinese to talk to, or if you're not hearing it constantly, I don't really know how good that's gonna turn out. And no offense, I've heard some people that have learned Chinese within the US. It's not good, because yeah, like, it's just really not that good. I think the best place to learn it is here in China. That's what I think. Yeah. And my will wasn't to learn Chinese. I never was like, I want to go to China and learn Chinese. I just happened to learn it and begin to learn it when I was here. So I never had some strong desire to learn Chinese. Like if you had went back to Maryjane 3 years ago, like, and you told me that I was gonna know Chinese one day, or I'm like, I would be like, no, I'm not. I had no desire. It was never a passion of mine. I'm good with knowing English. So it just happened. Like a lot of people, because I get that question a lot. Like, how long did you want to know Chinese? There was no time I wanted to know it, and then I knew it. Like it just happened. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm going to continue to give tips on Chinese, and I'm going to continue to teach you guys stuff because I get a lot of those comments and requests, and I, of course, will do that. But yeah, I hope I gave a little bit of information that maybe you didn't know before. And yes, thank you so much for watching. And I have a really awesome video coming up next week. I'm so excited. And my birthday is next Monday, Christmas Day. Yes, my birthday is on Christmas. Because people keep saying, what day is your birthday? Oh, you're a Christmas baby? Christmas! Because I think a lot of people call themselves Christmas babies who are born near Christmas. So when I say I'm a Christmas baby to people, they're like, oh, what day? Like, Christmas. Yes, Christmas Day is my birthday. I will be 22 years old. And yeah, it's funny because in China, we're a day ahead of America. So last year I was really confused. I'm like, do I celebrate my birthday today? Or do I wait till it's the 25th in America because I'm American, so technically my birthday is until tomorrow. But yes, my birthday is next Monday, so yeah, that's popping. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments below. And if you have any questions, you can put those below. And yeah. Chinese people, I know I have a lot of Chinese viewers. If you have any tips for people, maybe you could comment them down below too. Also, because I love when people comment to try and help other people that know what people are asking about. But I know I have a lot of Chinese viewers, which is awesome. I like having a range of viewers, and I think that's so cool. And if you have any tips on Chinese, maybe you could comment them below as well to help people. And yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna be doing so much traveling really soon, and I'm going to so many cool, awesome places. So guys, be ready for that, and some awesome videos are coming. And I look at your comments and I read them, and I love you guys so much. And I hope that you enjoyed this video today. I will see you guys on the flip side.